John has a question about choosing a title for his film when there's already a film of the same title out there. Hi, I'm attorney Gordon Firemark, and this is Asked and Answered, where I answer your entertainment law questions to help you take your career and business to the next level. So here is John's question. I've actually removed the title that he's referring to. He says, I'm starting to work on a script inspired by actual events. I've chosen to give it a title I really think conveys everything it should about the script. Recently, though, I noticed that there was a 2016 short of the same title. Can I proceed with this as my title? The 2016 version is fictional, and mine is based on actual events in my life that pertain to a legal issue. Well, John, I think since you're in the early stages of things and you're just starting to write your script, my advice has to be that you choose another title for the script. And really, right now, almost any title, even Untitled, will work. Once you've written the whole story, the right title might just come to you. My point is, you shouldn't let this title issue be an excuse or a reason not to write it. Get your script onto the page. Movie titles change often along the way through the development and even in the production or post-production phase of things. So don't get too hung up on a title now. But as for the legal aspects of your question, here's what I can tell you. Now, generally, we're talking about the law of trademarks and unfair competition, which basically protect against confusion in the marketplace. Trademarks are used to distinguish the source or origin of goods and services. So when you're out there buying things, you don't confuse one brand of cola from the other or whatever. But trademark law doesn't really protect a title of a single creative work, like a script, a film, a book, a poem, or a song. So you can't get a registration of a trademark for a script title. But there are other kinds of legal claims that don't require a registration. Ultimately, with titles for films and plays, it's technically possible to use an already existing title on a new work. But I'd say that if the other film is fairly recent or very, very famous, you'll probably encounter some pushback. Maybe that'll be a cease and desist letter or possibly even a lawsuit. So you're talking about a film from a couple of years ago, and that's pretty recent. So my suggestion is don't do it. But what if you found some little-known film from 50 or 60 years ago? Well, that's a slightly different case, since the question of likelihood of confusion is at the core of all this. And if you go and look, you will find common titles on unrelated films. There's less chance that consumers, the movie viewers, will be confused about which film they're watching when we're dealing with an old and a new, or something like that. But even then, I think it's really not a good idea to put a product or service out into the world with a name that is confusingly similar to another one. That's just bad for business on both sides of the equation. Consumers get confused, word spreads, and your film's performance could suffer. And here's one more important point. When you go to distribute a film, the distributor is going to ask you to provide a title report and an opinion letter from a lawyer. This basically means that you're going to have a firm run a search and report on other competing titles in various media online, books, and whatever else. Then the lawyer is going to write a legal opinion based on that report and advise you, and by extension the distributor, about whether it's safe to use the title or whether there's a risk of lawsuits. So to bottom line it here, don't use an existing film's title for your new screenplay or film unless it's a very old film, very unheard of, a very little known project. And even then, think hard about it. All right, that's it for this time. If you have a question you'd like to have answered here on Asked and Answered, please visit firemark.com/questions and let me know. I'll see you next time.